Welcome to episode 7 of Keepin' It a Hundo. This is part 2 of my conversation with Mikkey Halsted. Hopefully you already heard part 1, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Leave me some comments on the Apple Podcast app. Let me know who you think I should have on the podcast. I'm open to suggestions. I think when people see a name they don't recognize as a guest, they tend to tune out. Just try to keep in mind that person's on for a reason. So give it a chance. Here's Mikkey Halsted. Part 2 of my conversation with Mikkey Halsted includes our discussion about why he would never work with R. Kelly again. We discuss race as a social construct, gun violence in Chicago, and the time Mikkey gave J. Cole work on the basketball court. We also reveal the top 5 Mickeys of all time, and we have a hard time trying to decide who would win a steel cage match between Yeezy and Weezy. We pick up our conversation where we left off last week. Mikkey was on a bus with his Cash Money family, and he got into a fight with one of the top dogs. We mentioned a shock bus. There were 2 buses that Cash Money artists rode on. There was the artist bus, which was a nice bus, and there was the shock bus, which was full of gangbangers and ex-cons. If you were on the shit list that particular week, you had to ride the shock bus.
Yeah, we were in Atlanta. The shock bus wasn't there at that time because we weren't like on tour. He was actually he just bought Swiss Beats house. So we were pulled up in front of that. And so I was one of the artists that was just on there. So basically, man, I fucked dude up, but he wasn't dead, thank God. And everybody run, get baby out the house. Baby like, man, that's $1 million fucking bust. So they was about to take him to the hospital and all that, man. I actually just got off the bus. I called my cousin to come get me up the road, told him like kind of where I was, and I walked away from Cash Money that day, and I never came back.
It's crazy. This is after you signed with Virgin with JD?
No, this is before that.
This is before all that?
Yeah, I was young as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you grew up in the 80s.
Yeah.
Growing up, who were your favorite rappers?
KRS, Rakim. Those were my like 2 favorites, hands down. Big Daddy Kane too. Big Daddy Kane, he was special. 90s, it was like Special Ed first. Grand Pooba, that was like my favorite MC. Like,
yeah.
Nobody tell me shit about Grand Pooba. Like Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted, like Death Certificate was probably one of the most impactful albums that I ever heard. And then
How was the Native Tongues out here? Did they reach Chicago like that?
Chicago heavy. Like we loved the Native Tongues. I was a big fan of De La, a big fan of fucking Tribe, of course, and I wanted to marry Moni Love, like for real. Like that was my fucking baby. You know what I'm saying?
She's right in the middle.
Yeah. And, so it's like then '93 came.
Oh, speaking of that, do you know who I liked?
Who?
Do you remember B. Angie B?
Yeah.
I wanted to marry B. Angie B.
B. Angie B was dope though, man. She was fly as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then '93 came, bro. In '93, when I heard Nas rap, I never heard no shit like that before in my life. Then I heard Big and then Jay, and like them 3 right there, like just really stuck out to me. Like, and then Wu-Tang came at the same like time, and Raekwon was like my favorite, like besides Nas.
Who you think the best white rapper is besides Eminem?
I really liked MC Search, bro.
Okay.
I liked them. They was dope to me.
The gas face.
They were dope to me. I liked a lot. I liked House of Pain.
More recent, I really like Yellow Wolf.
Yellow Wolf is dope.
I think he's my favorite other than Eminem.
Yeah, Yellow Wolf is dope. Like, of course, M is like super special, but Yellow Wolf is dope. Years back, we performed together at A3C. And,
oh yeah,
that's
my boy runs A3C.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go down there every year for it.
That's crazy. So.
When's the last time you performed there?
Man, I ain't did, man. Maybe like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So through your relationship with Ye, you met No ID?
That was my first manager.
Okay.
He called me like, man, No ID heard your shit. He want to manage you. I'm like, shit, hell yeah.
And at this point, No ID is everybody knows him?
Yeah, everybody knows him. Like, he was the godfather of.
He had already done a bunch of work with Common.
Yeah, he did Common. Like, he had put his own album out called the Black Album before Jay even did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just a special dude, man.
So what did you want to be when you were a kid, besides MJ?
I didn't want to be MJ. I wanted to be Isaiah. Well, really, I wanted.
Because that's so you saw yourself more that type of.
Well, I really wanted to be Magic. In my mind, I was gonna be 6'8", 6'9", point guard. Like,
Yeah.
So those were the guys that I always loved, like Magic, Steve Smith, like those guys.
You saw yourself as a point guard, so everything.
Yeah.
The guys who
Mike
influence you.
Was like, I wasn't athletic, so like I couldn't. He was just like the god of the shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like it's not even attainable.
it's not
like
attainable.
I can't be that guy.
Like, that's why Steph is so popular, because you could see Steph and you could be like, all right, I could be that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If I practice
If
enough.
I practice enough. Like, if I'm willing to work hard. But there's no amount of hard work that's going to make you like Mike.
Who were the best players, in your opinion, to come out of Chicago ever? Top 5.
Tim Hardaway is my favorite. Once I knew that I wasn't going to be 6'8", like, he's the guard that was the standard bearer. It was him, and it was this guy named Brian Leach. Legendary street ball dude. Like, Tim would know him. Like, they had legendary battles. Like, going to see Leach play Tim in the Pro-Ams was, like, better than going to see Jordan play the Lakers. Like, it was like that.
What
like,
was Leach like? Tim's size, or was he?
yes, but
Okay.
thin, waif, like $155.
Because Tim is strong.
Tim
Tim is strong as
but
hell.
like Leach just had like, man, the floaters, the spins, like left, right, the jumper. Like, his game was just so smooth and effortless. You couldn't believe this little skinny dude was just dominating like the Giants. You know what I'm saying? And like, Tim would have 55, he'll have 50. That was like the legend of Brian Leach. He recently passed. His NBA was like drug dealers would pay him to be on their team. My cousins were, I had Lil Mike, Jigsaw, like them was my big cousins. Like, Mike kind of hung with Tim like a couple summers. Like, I was hearing about Tim Hardaway early on through my cousin Lil Mike. When I got to really see him play, like, I just always followed him from UTEP on. Like,
So I got to play with Tim every weekend for a few years when he was living in Miami before he got the Pistons job.
right.
And just being able to play with him, I mean, it wasn't in his prime, but
He still had to be crazy, right?
Tim is strong as hell. I remember one time my boy Felipe, he tried to cross Tim over. Now Felipe is in good shape. He's, he was in his 20s. Tim was 50-something. And Tim tackled him and threw him down and said, "Don't you ever use my move on me."
Damn.
He said that was straight disrespectful. He cussed Felipe out the gym. Tim could be a motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
He a Southside guy, you know what I'm saying? So shit, that Southside is a motherfucker, boy. Trust me, And he ain't no hoe. He come from the gutter. you
Yep.
know? Isaiah was one of my favorites. He played for the Pistons, so of course, I couldn't really root for him, but I
Yeah,
rooted for him. You feel what
exactly.
I'm saying? And
So you said you went to high school out in the suburbs.
yeah,
Like Isaiah went to St. Joseph's.
yeah.
Where'd
I
you
went
go?
to Rich Central. Kendall Gill went there.
Oh, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Kendall Gill was one of my favorites as a kid.
Kendall Gill was dope, right?
He was so cool.
He was super. He was like, what D Rose did, you can't take away from him. Youngest MVP ever to do it. People's bodies are different, so I'm not one of those people that discounts greatness because of injury. Him in his prime, Westbrook couldn't fuck with him. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Athleticism was peak.
Yeah, peak. Unselfish, but a killer. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I don't like people saying that, D Rose is washed up or this and that. He
because
doesn't trust his legs. He has injuries. It
Yeah,
happens. It
it's
happened
like-
to a lot of great players.
right, it's like you don't get extra credit because this guy twists his ankle just got done twist his ankle.
Right.
Like, that's not something that you can control, like, period.
It doesn't make you a better basketball player.
Doesn't make you a better basketball player because you stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I've always, like, Penny Hardaway, like, to see, like, him deal with that and not be able to be who he was really supposed to be.
You got Penny's peak, you got, like, T-Mac's peak, you got Grant Hill's peak, but, like, these guys played so long that people don't remember sometimes how great they were.
Yeah, for
like,
real.
Really great.
Like,
D Rose is on that list.
D Rose is on that list. I mean,
so for Chi-Town, you got Tim Hardaway, you got Brian Leach, you got Derrick Rose. You got a backcourt right there.
Yeah, I got.
You need some bigs. You got any bigs?
Anthony Davis, because I feel like
you can't even.
I feel like he will be the best player in the league soon.
Yeah.
Like, if he's not damn near really right now.
He's on deck. Did you ever see Benji play?
I didn't, man. I didn't. I was not. Of course, being from Chicago, I've heard all the stories. Now, I will tell you the most dominant player that I've seen in Chicago basketball, like, period.
High school,
was this guy named Jamie Brandon. And he went to King High School. And, like, you couldn't tell me he wasn't the next coming, like, a pro. Like, he went to LSU, played with Shaq, and fizzled out, like, got injured.
I remember him now.
Yeah,
I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah,
he was with LSU.
You can't go wrong with that list.
I used to see Ronnie Fields playing in AAU tournaments when I was in high school.
Fucking incredible. It was also a guy named Paul McPherson.
I remember Paul. I've seen him play.
That's like, we play together. Like, we used to have to go to the same Sunday set. So it's like,
that's a strong lefty right there. Like, he's strong as hell.
Like, he could have had a Dwayne Wade career, And I can't really leave D Wade off that list. D Wade is a killer, man. D Wade is a killer. You gotta put him on the list.
All right.
Brian Leach, Brian Leach.
He might have to go.
Street legend, but you know what I'm saying. When you kill in that association, that's a different level of shit, And not to say that you couldn't, because it's like, it's a lot of pros that I've met up with, in the summer times, and I know I'm better than them. You know what I'm saying? And I've showed them I'm better than them. But at the end of the day, though, when you do it in that association, bro, you deserve the shit that come with that.
It's all about opportunity.
It is.
Talk about your basketball career a little bit. Where did you play in school? You said you had a basketball scholarship.
Yeah, I played at a school called St. Xavier University, NAIA.
Yep.
In hindsight, like, that's where, I really miss my father, like, being there to kind of guide me. Like, I could have signed with DePaul. I could have signed with Loyola. I had offers from UIC, University of Illinois, Chicago. I had offers from Marquette. And I really wanted to go to Syracuse. Like, that was, like, my dream.
So you were just so disappointed you didn't get that offer that you just kind of...
like, when you get offered junior year or early senior year or that summer, like, I had two schools that I wanted to go to, and that was Georgia Tech and Syracuse. And, like,
all the best point guards played at Georgia Tech back when we were growing up.
Yeah, I wanted to, like,
one after
Kenny
another.
Anderson was my favorite point guard, you know what I'm saying? And Sherman Douglas was my other favorite.
The general.
So it's like, I wanted to, that's what I loved. I wanted to play in Boeheim's 2-3 and run the show. They flirted with recruiting me. They recruited me, but I held out for everybody. I pushed everybody else, like, holding out for them. And when they finally said they gave my scholarship to Travis Best at Georgia Tech.
He's from Massachusetts.
Yeah, the coach called me, said, "Man, we got the guy that was right ahead of you on our list, bro. And he kept it real with me, and I was disappointed because I felt like I matched up against him in All-Star circuit in the summer, and I didn't feel like he could fuck with me. But he was a good guard, you know what I'm saying. And
had himself a decent career.
He had a good career, you know what I'm saying. But Syracuse went another direction.
They took two light-skinned guards in the backcourt too. They had
did.
Adrian Autry and Lawrence Moten.
Yeah, and I felt like I was better. I liked Lawrence Moten a lot. He was big.
I loved his game.
I loved
Yeah,
him.
he's
but
long.
Autry, I felt like I would have murdered him. So it's like they went another direction, and then I went back and tried to see if DePaul and everybody else was like, man, well, shit, at this point you could walk on and you'll get a scholarship, or you can go to JUCO. Why don't you let us just send you to our JUCO that's we affiliated with, and then and I don't know, man, my father was like, man, go here, and I just did that. And so, but I actually had a good career. I had a Hall of Fame career there. Met some really good people. They inducted me into the Hall of Fame. Um, what's that in 2008, I think. And so
That's cool.
that was cool. So I put
Any
up,
Any Hall of Fame
yeah,
is
I put up
a
fucking
big
numbers.
achievement.
You know, if you go to a school like that, shit, I did what I was supposed to do there. I dominated. You know,
Where is that?
It's in Chicago.
Okay.
Just had a chance to transfer out and go D1. I was gonna go play for Delaware State in the MEAC.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
HBCU.
yeah, HBCU. But the group of friends that I had developed, like, it really wasn't about that no more for me. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It was like, man, like, I didn't want to leave my brothers that
You were having a good time.
I was
and
having
you
a
fit
good
in.
time.
And
I fit in. Like, I was comfortable, and you know, I was having fun playing basketball, and I was getting a free education, and that stuck in my head when my father would just say, man, use basketball, don't let it use you. Get a free education. You know what I'm saying? Out of this shit, you know. And so I did just that.
And you played a little bit in the USBL?
Yeah, I did. Atlanta Trojans, man. Damn, boy, you got real research, boy. That's crazy. I don't know how you knew that. But yeah, I played a little bit. But Kanye said I had to bring my ass home. But it wasn't no real money, but it was good. It's like a couple good players came out of those leagues, like Rajah Bell, Daryl Armstrong.
Roger's a friend of mine.
For real,
Yeah.
yeah. He played in USBL, so like,
Roger's a guy who just kept working and getting there. Because when he came out of high school, he wasn't
really.
highly.
He's from Boston.
No, he's from Miami.
Okay.
I know him from Miami.
Okay.
He went to Boston University for a year though.
Wow.
But he wasn't highly touted at all, and he'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And it was just he stuck with it and kept working and grinding. And you know, there's a lot of people out there that say, "Oh, I was better than him."
Yeah.
They were, but they didn't work as hard as him.
They didn't work as hard as him, for real. So, and he had a hell of a career, man.
Yeah.
He had a
great career. He has a podcast too.
Lock up. He could shoot the fuck out the ball. He can handle that bitch. It's like he was not a liability in no way, shape, or form.
And he had no problem putting his hands on you either.
Yeah. I love that about him.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of my calling cards, was just defense. So I love those kind of players. Like, so yeah, no, I fuck with Rajah Bell.
You played with any rappers or entertainers that you were like, all right, they got some game? I know R. Kelly plays with, like, Raja used to run a lot with R. Kelly. A lot of my friends would play with him down in Miami at Miami High.
R. Kelly weak to me though. R. Kelly ain't.
I heard he just gets his boys on the team.
Yeah,
and then he wants to rock all day.
And all they do is fucking set picks for him, and he shoots this broke ass jumper that really does go in though. You know what I'm saying? And he'll shoot that bench a lot. But 2 Chainz can really fucking hoop.
Yeah, I've seen him play.
I would say I was the best that I've seen, like, rapper, entertainer, hooper. But 2 Chainz was damn near.
He's like what, 6'5"?
Yeah, 6'5".
Yeah,
6'6".
so
he could fucking play.
Yeah.
I matched up against J. Cole. Gave him like 11, 12 buckets in a row. You know what I'm saying? Because they was talking shit, you know. Cole, where you at? You got that film. They got that film somewhere because they was recording that. I know he made them burn that fucking
Was it just pickup game, or was it a celebrity?
No ID's
something?
crib. He set up the matchup, and he had the court and all of that shit. So, you know, everybody was talking shit, you know. And so, like, but no, I have fun out in L.A., like, No ID. Baron Davis is a good friend of mine. Like, he's probably he was one of my favorite all-time players. Like, I'm a Golden State fan, and people feel like, oh, you're a Golden State fan because of Steph Curry. No, I'm a Golden State fan because of fucking Tim Hardaway and
Run TMC,
and then Baron Davis after him.
That one season that Golden State had.
Oh my goodness,
they were so entertaining.
I feel like they were one big away from, like, shocking the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
so, speaking of R. Kelly, would you work with R. Kelly at this point, or would you let one of your artists work with R. Kelly?
No.
Because I grew up, R. Kelly was my favorite singer. Like, I loved listening to his music. I think he was great. But at this point, like, I can't even listen to him anymore.
Yeah, he was, like, probably my favorite singer, too. I actually worked with R. Kelly on the Best of Both Worlds album that Baby and him was going to do. So I performed on that project. I helped write a lot of the raps on that project. It never came out, but I was with R. Kelly for an extended period of time. When all that shit came out, I'm not judgmental in a way because like nobody's perfect, man. Like we all have done our dirt. We all fall short, you know.
Absolutely.
Taking advantage of children or young women, especially that young, that's not some shit I really condone. I don't fuck with that shit at all.
It seems like it's habitual too. It's not like he made one mistake
it's
or
like
something.
He's sick, you know.
Exactly.
He really needs some help. You know what I'm saying? But it's fucked up, man. You get caught with a gun there, you go to jail, you do all type of other
mandatories,
wild shit, nasty pedophilia type shit, and
ruin people's lives.
You don't go no fucking where, you know. But you get caught with a gun in a car and you ain't killed nobody or did shit, you got to go to jail. So you know the system is fucked up, but hey, man, you know, he's an amazing singer, amazing entertainer, but I can't support that shit. I can't.
Respect that. Are you still making music? You still rapping? I know you managing Herb.
It's only 24 hours in a day, so like I got so much shit to do. I haven't really been in it lately. I always said once Herb finished his put out his solo debut, which he did in Humble Beast, then I was gonna get to it. And so we still like on the tail end of rolling out Humble Beast right now. So like when that's done, like I'm a get the people like that's my fans. I'm gonna just put the music out into the world, you know. And I got so much shit that like you can't find right now. So it's like I feel like I'm gonna put out like 4 or 5 of the old projects and then something new and let fans really know, the people really know who Mikkey Halsted is, and like that music lives forever. Music doesn't have an expiration date, so just put it out there, let it do what it does. No pressure, but those that are interested in intelligent street music, then they will have something to listen to, you know.
When's the last time you went on tour?
Shit, when the last time I went on tour? 2011.
Okay. And that was like your last album?
Yeah, that's the last little project. 2012. I put out Castro. Yeah, shit. Damn.
So
Woo.
what's the demographics look like at a Mikkey Halsted show?
My show was like, it was crazy because it was like, I felt like I had really intelligent, informed fans. So it was like a rainbow of people. You know what I'm saying?
You getting a different crowd than Herbo's getting,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'm getting a different crowd.
A little older.
A little older.
A little more mixed?
A little more mixed. Well, Herb, this is crazy. You know, this shit is mixed too. It's like music is really the great unifier. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like I go to these concerts, man, and I was telling my wife this the other day. It's like you see these young white people and black people, and they singing these songs, and they love these artists. It seems like this is just the cure for racism. Like this moment, this emotion, like right then, is so pure.
You know what's even more crazy is how it bridges languages. Like you could go overseas
Shit,
and
crazy.
everybody knows every word to your song, and they don't even know how to say hello or thank you in English.
It's fucking crazy.
That's crazy to me when I see them rapping every word to every song.
That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy.
What are your goals in music right now? I know you're doing a couple projects with Herb. You got his album.
I got Herb.
You got City of Sorrow.
Yeah, we
got Red Snow.
We got Red
couple
Snow.
Film projects.
We're doing a short film on Malcolm. We're gonna do in conjunction with Mass Appeal. They're gonna help us roll it out. We got a lot going on. I'm signing other artists right now as well.
Okay.
Trying to build a real independent label hub here in Chicago.
I always find it interesting. I talked to our friend Courtney about this. Do you guys realize, when I say you guys, I mean like any other rappers, or you guys realize that like a guy like me growing up in the suburbs of Boston is riding around in his car listening to like your stuff?
Man, that's like,
or you just think it's hitting the hood, you know what I mean?
No, it's, you know what's crazy, man? You make music for yourself and like your immediate circle, right? It's because you want to impress your homies, like that. Like you want the people that know you to like be like, he's real. That's something that.
And then everybody in the neighborhood gives you respect.
And then they give you respect, like, oh yeah, he's not lying about what he's rapping about. He's not perpetrating a fraud. But when you go perform, and like I've performed all over, so it's like when you go perform and you see a face that doesn't look like yours, like connecting with it, like from different backgrounds, it just gives you a sense of like it's empowering, it's exhilarating. It's like hitting that 3 pointer at the buzzer, like when you catch that eye contact with that person and they seeing and they into it and they sweating like you sweating, and it's like it's a beautiful thing. To me, race is phony. It's made up. It's a social construct that somebody invented, and you can actually go back and tie in when it was invented, by who was invented. Blumenbach and these other like scientists like came up with this whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's really disappointing, you know what I'm saying, to me that like they can create a system, right? And then that system can spread and be accepted all over the world, and we look at each other like along lines of like white and black. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's so like juvenile. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, it's Caucasoid, it's Negroid, it's Mongoloid. These are social scientists that just put this shit together. Oh, we gonna draw this line because we gonna call this Africa. We gonna draw this, and this is that, and this is that. It's like, really, I believe in tribes. I believe in tribalism, meaning like I believe like you have communities of people, bloodlines. Like, all right, you an Italian, that's an Italian bloodline. I respect that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I respect somebody that's of Polish, that because they have a family, a culture, a whole thing.
Yeah, culture's a beautiful thing that should be preserved.
Culture's a beautiful thing, but it's like Italians are white or have lighter skin. We're gonna put Italians and Polish and English and all of these people over here, and we gonna say y'all are white and y'all are this, and then we got, it's like you might have a Kenyan might not fuck with somebody that's from Mozambique, that might be long. It could be long standing shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it could be long standing shit between the Irish and the English. Like it could be some long standing shit. Like,
I know like a lot of Africans and African Americans, there's a lot of disparity between the two. There's a lot of differences in the culture.
Because the sad thing about it, bro, the transatlantic slave trade is different, because that is the first slave trade in history where they made it illegal to say your name, you keep your name, and speak your language. Those are the tires and the identifiers to who you really are.
They stripped you of your culture.
It's like, now you gonna say you African. That was never good enough for me. Like, once you get to a certain level of education and intelligence, you can't tell me why I'm sitting in school and I got an Italian homie and he got the Italian flag on his arm, and I got an Irish homie and he got the Irish flag on his arm, and I got a Polish homie, he got the Polish, and they speak this, he speaks this, he speaks this. They got cultures, they got food, they got this, and then you gonna tell me I'm African, I'm black. What the fuck is my culture? Like, my culture is collard greens and pork and shit, like slave culture. Like, I don't have no tire. Like, people don't realize, like, psychologically what that does to a group of people. Like, we just speak English. All our names are other cultures'
names
like
of Irish people,
right? Like, listen,
English
like
people.
You have a name that identifies you and your lineage. Mm-hmm. It's a source of pride, heritage, right? Mm-hmm. And Africa got dozens and dozens of fucking countries. Like, what? That does not make me happy. That does not fill a void. It's no flag. It's no fucking language. I don't know what culture. They don't get along with each other. Like,
a lot of people think Africa's a country.
Man, they do, bro. They fucking
and
do.
There's so many different countries that are so different. So
yeah, so it's like we always, when you get to a certain level like of intelligence, like you always start. It's certain things that are holes in your heart. I don't care if it's like you didn't have a father, but like for us, it's like compound, because like at the base you don't have a culture, like for real. And it's like we have a Black American culture, like
that's almost one of the purest American cultures there is. I tell my friends all the time that, especially my black friends, I got here a lot more recent than you guys did, saying my family.
Yeah.
My family's immigrants. You guys almost aren't even immigrants at this point.
Yeah,
like, you've
yeah.
been here longer than
Yeah, that
anybody.
shit crazy, right? And it's like, so that culture, we developed a culture here, but still it's that hole that says like, damn, my last name is Smith. Like, bro, what does that mean? That I was owned by them people. Like,
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's crazy that black people keep the name still.
Yeah, it's like
It's crazy.
People ask me like, because it's like in my family, like it's a big thing, and it's hard because this is the thing. So I come to the family a couple months ago. I'm like, we changing our name, G. I just can't like do that. Like, it just don't feel right. And I've been saying this for this year. We're gonna go down to City Hall, and my mama gets to crying and like, well, that's your daddy's name.
You could all be Halsteds.
I'm like, yeah, we can all be whatever we are, whatever we want to be, But at the end of the day, that's not it. But like, your family still feels like they've established that name.
You've given it its own name.
You've given it its own name. So it's a tough thing, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't want to disrespect the memory of my father, but at the same time, it's like, that's just a hole that we have to acknowledge. So it's like, you go on this path and say, man, really, what are we? Like, are we the lost tribes of Israel?
So we touched on crack in the 80s. Would you say, is it really any more dangerous now in Chicago than it was in 1990, 1992? I believe the murder rate in 92, 93 was almost double what it is right now.
It's only more dangerous in that kids are doing the killing. Back then, it was like, all right, it wasn't 13-year-olds doing the killing. I was in a gang. So, like, you couldn't just go kill a motherfucker because they op on the next 2 blocks, like, because you wanted to. That would fuck up money. Motherfuckers really called real hits and got people to fuck up out of there that did heinous shit that was into real wars for real drug money and real turf. So it was really a deadlier thing back then, but it's not like these little kids running around with these big ass guns, because we had to answer to somebody. If we shot up the block that they selling drugs on and they couldn't sell drugs for the next 10 days because police all over there, then they was gonna fuck you up. So it wasn't senseless. Oh man, right now it's like social media. If they killed one of yours, then they smoking him. And so every time they on social media, they saying they smoking your dead homie. And then when I catch him, we gonna kill him. I know who he is. He know who I am. So if I ever catch him in traffic and get the ups on him, I'm gonna kill him. He's with the opposition. You know what I'm saying? Back then it was like, nah, we GD, they BD, they Blackstone. Like, if we want that block, because that block, we heard that they know that block, and it was like hierarchy, like real shit. So like, the guys that's really calling the plays is saying, damn, that block doing shit 80,000 a day. We want that 80,000 a day. You know what I'm saying?
So the big difference is senseless.
It's senseless.
And at least back then there was like a business model attached to it a little bit.
Bro, what they would do if you killed the little girl, like, straight bullet, you shooting senseless because you 14, 15
you have
with
to
this big
answer to
ass
somebody
gun.
for that.
Man, they might kill your mama.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was much more heinous. Like, they did real killings. Like, it wasn't like, right now these kids, they crazy, but they not gonna kill their no mamas. Like, in my day, they took the shit further. Like, if they wanted you, they'll kill everybody in your household. So yeah, I know it had to be more murders then. I didn't even know the statistics, but like, just from what you're saying, like, yeah, I know it had to be more murders then, because it was a deeper kind of play. It's like, man, you might find 12 people in the back of abandoned school, or certain motherfuckers just you don't never hear from again. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of resembles the whole murder rate in the U.S. because it was crack. Crack is what caused the rate to go up.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston, Chicago, L.A.
Guess what?
It all peaked around
it's
90.
Economics, bro.
Yeah.
It was a whole new way to make money. Mm-hmm. And I mean money like garbage bags full of money every fucking day. Like, it was drug dealers that were notorious that were making millions of dollars like a day, bro. these buildings were doing numbers. These project buildings was doing massive numbers with massive operations, bro. And they was making like crazy. They riding around the city in Bentleys and all type of shit. Now it's just a whole. It ain't really no money. Like these kids ain't really getting no money. Like if you selling something, you most times you still got people that's selling crack, but that's like a petty enterprise. They make more money damn near off selling weed now than that.
The Mexicans are making all the money off of
yeah.
heroin and everything.
Oh yeah, they making the money. Heroin is still an enterprise here.
Yeah.
Like here, Detroit.
The opioid epidemic
is
is
fucking crazy, man.
That's what's driving everything now.
Yeah.
So you got a master's degree in education while you were assigned to Cash Money.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Why do I get the feeling Juvenile wasn't doing this while he was making 400 degrees? I don't know this. I haven't researched it, but I'm going to put money on it that Juvenile didn't do this.
You're right.
What gave you the audacity to pursue an advanced degree while you were rapping for Cash Money?
Well, a little bit because it was easy. Because when I was playing basketball, I tore my ankle up real bad. I missed a year. When I came back, I broke my wrist, so I lost a year, and I had a 5th year to play, and so I did like the bulk of the work
while
I was physically still there.
But that's smart.
Yeah, I did the work, and like so.
So I feel like we have a lot in common. I hoop, I write. I don't know if Courtney told you.
No, I ain't telling you.
Yeah, we've worked on some projects together.
Dope.
I got a degree in film from University of Miami.
Oh, dope.
And screenwriting was my thing, and I still dabble in it.
That's dope.
I'm also a foodie.
Really?
Yeah. So a couple years ago, Chicago's like pretty new to me. I grew up in Boston, been living in Miami for a long time. My girlfriend lives in Chicago, so a couple years ago, she relocated to the South Side, and it was like my first time really spending time down there.
Wow.
So my first day visiting her at her new place in Hyde Park, I get there, she's not home, and we're both starving because I just got off a flight and she's coming from practice.
Right.
We need to eat. So I'm like, anywhere around here I can go eat. She's like, I don't really know the neighborhood like that yet. So I start asking people around the neighborhood, like, I need to go eat something. I got luggage, I got backpack, suitcase. Yeah, go check out Mickey's Retro Grill.
Really?
So first meal I ever had on the South Side, I went to Mickey's.
My man.
Picked up a couple sandwiches for me and my girl.
Oh man, that's love, bro.
And I didn't even know that was your spot.
That's crazy, man.
So are you a foodie?
I'm a foodie, man. I am. I love food, man. So love exploring new restaurants, new tastes, kind of expanding my palate. Like, I'm a foodie.
So you own a couple spots. Well, Mickey's Retro closed.
Well, no.
The Lighthouse.
Lighthouse closed, but it's back open. We just moved it, and so we got Mickey's and Lighthouse.
Okay, that's what it is. My bad.
On the same block, Hyde Park Boulevard. One on 53rd, one on 55th. So.
And me and my girl started going to the Lighthouse instead of Mickey's.
Man, that's you in shape. I could tell.
That's right. I like that stuff better. I don't eat junk food.
No doubt.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite restaurants in Chicago? Because they have some of the best food in the country out here.
Oh man, our only competition as far as a burger, man, you got to try, and it's right down the street, is Oshawa.
I've been there a couple times.
I like them.
Quality.
I like that.
That's good stuff.
I like them.
What about like on the fine dining end or
fine dining? I'm a fan of RPM.
Yep.
I'm a fan of RPM.
Yep. Italian or the regular?
The regular.
classic.
I like steak. I like the steak. Like I still enjoy, like, one of my favorite things, like, it's the jerk chicken here, the Caribbean food in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so, like, I really enjoy that. Like, I feel like we got, from traveling around, I feel like we got the best Caribbean food.
I was surprised because growing up in Boston, we have a lot of Jamaicans, and then people probably don't realize that, but there's a lot of West Indian people in Boston. And in Miami, we got plenty of influence down there. So, like, I've eaten jerk chicken in both places, and I was surprised when I came out here and saw they had them. And I was a little hesitant.
You got to go to Jerk Villa, Jamaican Jerk Palace, or Uncle Joe's, but not the one in Hyde Park.
Okay. So where are these at? Further down south?
Yeah, further south. You gotta go on. You gotta
I'm
go
all right.
on the hood.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you gotta go to the hood and get right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're to the keeping it a hundo portion of the show. This is more of a quick. I'm gonna ask you something.
Okay.
You got to keep it 100. You ready to keep it 100?
I'm ready, bro.
And I'ma keep it 100.
J's or Yeezys?
J's.
Nike or Adidas? I'm wearing J's today. He got on Adidas.
Even though I said J's, I'm an Adidas head more than a
They've
Nike-
stepped their game up
a
the
Nike
last couple of
head.
years for sure.
I love Adidas, man.
Are you more of a Michael or a Scotty?
Michael.
Kanye the rapper or Kanye the producer?
The producer.
You got to pick one, so.
Yeah.
All right.
He dope at both though.
True or false, you can't tell him nothing?
You can't. True.
That's true. I knew it was true.
It's
I never
fucking
met
true.
him, but I believe it. Carter 1 or Carter 2?
Whoo, shit. Carter 2.
I got the 2.
Carter 2.
Who you got in a steel cage match? Kanye versus Weezy. That's funny just to picture.
That's hilarious. I don't know, man. Shit, I don't know. I can't pick that one. I can't pick that one. I can't pick it. I pass on that one, bro. I can't pick that one. That shit is hilarious just thinking about.
Your answer's good enough. Uncle Remus or Harold's?
Harold's.
If you could write a song and have any artist perform it, who you going with?
Shit, that's a dope question. It wouldn't be a rap. It'd be Lauryn Hill.
Great answer. Can you think of an artist you listen to in the car by yourself that maybe you wouldn't listen to if one of your boys in the car, and maybe you wouldn't admit it, but you got to change it before they get in the car type thing? You got any music like that you listen to?
SZA. That's my shit.
Everybody likes SZA, I think, though. That's a good one, though, because it's soft.
Yeah.
I like her. True or false, you voted for Trump?
False.
I must have got some bad info from Noise.
Man.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
But I did predict that he was gonna win.
Yeah.
When the Democrats chose Hillary over Bernie.
Yep.
I was a huge Bernie supporter.
All right, this one's tough. Top 5 Mickeys of all time.
Top 5 Mickeys?
Yep.
Like songs?
Nope.
What?
People named Mickey.
Oh, damn.
There's a definite 5 too.
It is a 5. All right. Mickey Mantle.
You got 1. Did I say people? They don't have to be people.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. Mickey Mouse.
You got 2.
Um,
It gets harder as we go forward.
It's harder. Hold on, man. Mickey Blue Eyes.
Didn't make the list.
Oh, shit. Mickey. Is it Mickey Aronson? Mickey.
He owns the Heat.
Yeah, Mickey.
He didn't make the list.
He didn't make the league?
No.
Dang.
I'm a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
And this is my list.
It's your list. I give up, man. Who else?
All right. We got Mickey's Wide Mouth.
Dang.
Pause. We got Mickey Goldmill, who is Rocky's trainer.
Damn, that is.
You know
Rocky.
Mick.
Mick.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that.
You can't find 5 better than these. And the last one, Mickey Donovan. You watch Ray Donovan?
Yes. Damn, Mickey Donovan.
That's
Ray
the
Donovan
coolest
is
old
the
man
fuck-
ever.
Yeah, he's the truth, bro.
He said he knows 2 things: robbing people and black chicks.
That's crazy. Mickey Donovan. Ray
Mickey
Donovan
Donovan
is the shit, bro.
Yeah, me and Courtney, we always talk about Ray Donovan. I figured you watched it.
Yeah.
That's a good 5, though, right?
That's an awesome 5.
They could mess with any other name. That 5 is
like that 5 is
going to
powerful.
war.
Yeah, like for real.
Last question. I ask everybody this: death row meal. What are you eating?
Jerk chicken, rice and peas, cabbage and plantains.
And what are you having to drink with it?
ginger beer.
I knew it. And you might as well be Jamaican.
I know.
That's a straight Jamaican meal.
That's my shit, man. Thank you, bro.
I appreciate you stopping by.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, man.
That'll do it for episode 7 of Keepin' It a Hundo, part 2 of my conversation with Mikkey Halsted. Check out Mickey's stuff on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. You can find it on there. He's also managing now. He manages an artist named G Herbo, or Lil Herb. Check out Herb's new album, Humble Beast. Also, feel free to let me know if you like the new format. This time I broke it down into 2 episodes instead of releasing it all at once as one long conversation. Trying to give the listeners what they want. I appreciate you listening, and thank you to everybody who's been sharing Keepin' It a Hundo. Shout outs to Chanel Remy, Meaty B's favorite cousin, Mike Shuko and Mike Alden, Courtney Drive's finest, and of course the pride of Bridgeport, Connecticut, Jess Dog. He still leads the league in shares. My next guest on Keepin' It a Hundo is my brother from another mother, Black Noise. Thanks for listening.